Hello, my name's Duncan and welcome to Back Away from Talking About Books. This is little Gizmo. Little Gizmo's not been very well recently. We've spent a lot of time in the vet, haven't we? Hey? But he's getting a bit better now. Hey? Little pumpkin boy that he is. So I am behind on all the videos that I should be doing, that I am doing because they involve a little more work. So I just thought I'd churn out a tag and a couple of more simple ones to give myself time to finish up the ones I am doing. So today is a tag, and it's not on Tag Tuesday. It's going to be what I'm going to now call Tag. When am I recording this? Thursday and Wednesday night. So it's Tag Thursday by the time this gets out. So you're going to stay here for me, or am I going to have to put you down? Well, this tag is, let's have a look. It's the winning title tag, and I was tagged by Gavin at Genre Books, and this was originally done by Heather Reeds, and it's quite an interesting little one. And it's have you ever bought a book because it had is the main things, and it had a funny title. I'm gonna have to put you down in a second, aren't I? Because this isn't me actually picking books up. It's not going to work well. I'll put you down. You're going to be good. You're going to be good. Okay, let's put me down. So have I ever bought a book because it had a funny title? I am going to do The Tough Guide to Fantasyland by Diana Wynne Jones. And that's a copy of it here. And if you've ever seen like the rough guides you used to get, you probably still get them, but nobody seems to buy books anymore about guides to places. And this is like a guidebook to fantasy books and all their sort of tropes. I hate using the word tropes because most people don't even know what it means. I quote it a lot, but you know, all the cliches and things like that. And it's done out in like a, if you've never seen it, so you pick a subject and it tells you all about them. Let me pick up one at random. Okay. So under the thing, it's got common cold. This is one of the many viral nuisances not present. You can get wet, cold and tired as you like, but you will never ever catch cold. Cloaks. Do you want to hear about cloaks? Cloaks are the universal outer garb of everybody who's not a barbarian. It is hard to see why. They are open in the front and require you most of the times to one-handed hold them shut. On horseback, they leave the skirt-sleeved arms and most of the torso exposed to the wind and the weather. You've got lots of bits like that. It's a fun book. It's a fun read, especially if you read a lot of fantasy. So that was, Diana Wynne Jones, Tough Guide to Fantasyland. And no matter what people tell you, and they will say that, oh, modern fantasy doesn't use these sort of cliches anymore. Yes, it does. It still does. And the reason they use them is because they work. All right. So, now on to number 2 is, have you ever bought a book because it had a shocking title? I went in search of Arlen Lanson's I Have No Mouth But I Must Scream. The short story, which is in a couple of short story collections. I haven't got them around here, but I probably did that partly on the title. If you've not read it, you should do. It is a grim story, but very good. Okay, and now a title that sounded like a line of poetry. As always, I need a Philip K. Dick in here. Flow My Tears, the Policeman Said, which is still one of my favourite titles ever. And much as I was reading, I've always read most Philip K. Dick stuff. I probably bought that one because I love the title. Okay, and a title which made me ask a question. What the Unpleasant Profession of Jonathan Hoag, Robert Heinlein, which is a novella and there's some short stories in the same book. And it makes you ask the question, what is the unpleasant profession of Jonathan Hoag? If not, read it. It's quite interesting. Heartwarming or Homey, or maybe just Homey. I picked around, another Philip K. Dick one, but this is one of his non-science fiction ones, and it's called Puttering Around in a Small Land. And it's about a man and his job as working in a radio repair shop, basically, and he has an affair. It's a very normal book, especially for Philip K. Dick. Okay, a title with an unusual combination of words. This is a short story that I went in search of. Okay, it's the slice crossed only on Tuesday World. And part of the reason I went for it was because it was the story that originally set off Philip Jose Farmer's Dream Day World series, but also because I loved the title. And after much searching, I found it in this collection with the really dodgy Rojas painting on the front. But I did finally find it, and it's well worth it. So, next one is I brought a book with a fantastical magical title. I go fantastic, and this is Lieutenant Gulliver Jones, His Vacation by Edward Lester Arnold. And this was written in 1905, and it's about a military man who ends up on Mars on his flying carpet. But look at, this was a bit of a cheat really, because it wasn't the magical title that got me. It was more the fact that there, which looks like he's surfing, but he's actually on a magic carpet going to Mars. And this is no doubt not the inspiration of, it's like a precursor to the Mars books, John Carter Mars books, or the Edgar Rice Burroughs ones. Whether he read them or knew them or what, but it's definitely sort of up there. 1905, written 20 years before. And it's a really interesting read. And I said, that title is just fantastic. But I said the title, Lieutenant Gulliver Jones, His Vacation, that is the original title. You will find it listed in places as Gulliver of Mars. It is on, there's a copy of it on Project Gutenberg listed as that. But Edward Lester Arnold, I've not read huge amounts of his stuff, but this is worth a read. Well worth a read, especially if you're into Edgar Rice Burroughs as well. And next one, a title which is a contradiction or describes the impossible. And I would do this one. Not read this yet. This is Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. And the reason I got this was, for starters, I love the title, because how can monsters be ordinary? But my wife found it, and she was really interested in it. And this is actually a signed edition. I can't remember why we got signed edition. I don't think it was on offer or something. But me meaning to read this, my wife, as you all probably know, has disability, can't read huge amounts, and I read to her on a sort of quite a bit, and she wants me to read this to her, and I haven't got around to it yet because she was really interested in this, but it does sound like an interesting book. So yeah, it's sort of, don't know much about the author, but I've had it for about a year or so. But I do quite like the cover. I'm not a fan of a lot of modern covers. So yeah, so how can a monster be ordinary? So yeah, that's it. So that was, thank you to, I said, Heather for originally doing the tag. Thanks to Gavin for tagging me. And I will probably tag a few other people. I'm not sure who's done it or not. So if you're tagged and you've done it, sorry. But I'm just going to whack a few people at the bottom. So yeah, I will speak to you very soon. And thank you for